Welcome. Now as the sun enters Scorpio, we are in the time of release. And what this has to do with is a sacrifice. Something is destroying us. So the tower has been activated. It's not in our greatest good, and we're just going to start off with an activation message right now. It has to do with the eternal cycle begins here. And because this is connected to Halloween, we are using the Halloween Oracle. Everything is all one, and that's how you can really tell where people are at on their expansions. Is when they start separating things. It's all one. It's all connected. Midnight, the most magical hour of all. So we have a connection to time right now. With ghost, regret. Look, there's a regret. You know, discipline over regret. There's some sort of situation connected to a blind spot. Okay, this is where our ego mind, this is doing work within the mind's eye. When our ego mind has us convinced, has us in patterns of delusion that we are the victim, that we can't do anything about like our situation. This is where we run from our healing, where everything is everyone else's fault. These are our true blind spots that we can't see, where look, our ego is trying to protect us, and our ego has stepped in because we've had some sort of traumatic situation, some sort of traumatic situations that have made us feel unloved, that has put us in fear of love. And so a blind spot has been created where the ego now thinks it's in charge and needs to attack, and is it trying to attack. And this is how divine feminine and masculine end up attacking each other. And we know we're clearing up work, we're doing all this work on balancing relationships in Libra season, and now going into Scorpio season, we're cleansing the cup. So we're seeing our blind spots, and that means our divine counterpart is illuminating where we're not being honest with ourselves, where we're running from ourselves, where we're still stuck in patterns of, you know, this ego mindset where we're being victimized, and it's poor us, but it's not poor us. And it's us because we're all doing this as one. We're all doing this together. We're doing this united as a collective. So, you know, your counterpart comes in to hold up a mirror to show you your blind spot, but as well, that mirror is also for you. You know, it's to do the work, like we do the work through ourselves. We recognize these things are happening through our partner, but then we do the work through ourselves, and we watch our environment change, and we look at our blind spots and understand, like there's a healing for the collective here, and understanding that we all have blind spots. And those blind spots, we're in the time of this massive grand illumination where we're not being honest with ourselves. So there's light after the darkness. Here we have night is ending and day is beginning. We have a new beginning with the witch, the earthly weaver of the world. So something is coming together within the world, from the 5D and beyond into the 3D, in order for us to manifest with it. And it has to do with self-love and acceptance. This is what was activated during Libra season. This has to do with being ourselves. Being ourselves and having a purification from this space. And healing from shame. Healing from shame from experiencing this space and place. And expanding from the cup of lust with the Ace of Cups, and understanding what this is. This purification is about love. And it's understanding that this was a sacred experience in order to become whole. okay? And to activate with a deeper level of integrity, patterns of integrity. And something is seen in order to materialize through the earth. Something had to be seen within. And it's how to turn the negative into a positive. How are we going to turn feelings of shame into feelings of love? And understanding that this was a sacred experience in order to be whole, in order to understand. Okay? And in doing so, what happens here is we move away from patterns of separation within the mind's eye, separating the self from the self. We move away from those patterns. And there's an activation here from going from lust to joy as we expand this Scorpio season, Scorpio and the sun. And here it has to do with the tension, restoring the motion. We're making the proper shapes, we're making the proper patterns. But this is the key, that we had to have the tension in order to restore the motion, in order to, because this is here where we're going to use the Six of Swords and science in order to make the proper shapes and patternings. And we must expand the negative with the positive. And when we do so, we're breaking through barriers with financial freedom. And this has to do with listening to our inner voice. And this is happening within solitude, within meditation, to heal from obsession. There's a healing from obsession here within the mind's eye, and getting in alignment with the sun, which is the solar plexus. And that's connected to right now the illumination of the Ten of Cups. And we know we got this last time we met up. This is what's being illuminated and we are creating during Scorpio season. And it has to do with the fruit of life and spheres of knowledge. And this is the feminine seeking within the dark. Metatron's cube, the all and the Akashic records, and the masculine expanding these 13 spheres that are seeking within the void, within the dark, the unknown, our connection to God. And the masculine, the energy expanding it and planting a seed. The Genesis pattern has been activated with a rebirth, transformation, and reweaving, reactivating with new patterning. And these patterns are going to create harmony within our surroundings. Because as we change within us, as the law of one, as we change within us, so without, our environments change. So this is how we're doing mission work. This is how, when we go within, that we are, and we change within, we actually impact our environment. And we know that because when our environment changes, it also impacts within. You can see the law of one play out. And this has to do with acknowledging the inner child. There was an activation here, acknowledging the inner child. That's how this is being activated right here. The Six of Cups, the restoration to innocence from lust to joy. The inner child had to be acknowledged because inner knowledge and ancient wisdom was activated with this tower moment. And it has to do with the egg of life, the key to your blueprint, and a pineal gland activation that literally has woke now the pineal gland. Remember, the third eye. And this tower moment is a revelation of now what to release in order to manifest. And we have been learning how to manifest. And we're letting go of worry. We're letting go of trying to figure it out. Remember, this has to do with the unknown. So we're shape-shifting with inner knowledge and ancient wisdom. And get ready, because we're about to take hold for an inevitable change. And we're going to get an activation as to see what this is connected to. Because we're refusing having a new beginning. This has to do with the refusal of to have a new beginning. And for the energy to be released in order to have this transformation. Because we're not ready yet. Something's not ready yet here. And it has to do with this message that I haven't been called to look at until right now. So we have the tower moment. Here's the tower moment. And this is in order to get out of ego mindsets. The singular mind, right? Well, ego mindsets is just thinking for itself. It's being selfish, right? The selfish mind. and jumping into now the God mind, okay, that's going to help us to build and expand. We are all one, and what's being activated is the masculine, is these new structures. So we're having all these tower moments in order to burn down these old structures to rebuild, and that's where we are rebuilding, because we're respecting the masculine, we're honoring the energy. So this has to do with, look, we are honoring the energy right here, and in order to honor the energy, we're honoring the feminine, we're becoming vulnerable. That's what this is right here. In order to honor the masculine and respect men and embrace the divine, we become vulnerable and open our heart and allow ourselves to be tender, okay? This is the connection right here. That is what's happening right here. And this is also what is happening right here. And there's Scorpio, the King of Cups, is teaching us how to act. What's in alignment with us? What, you know, what patterns have been activated of integrity to get back to work. We're getting back to work here. And we're proud of this work. With here we've made the proper patterns. This is Metatron's cube right here. This is it. That's our connection to the Hierophant. Wherever Metatron's cube is gone, right? We've accessed this pattern. The feminine is working with the unknown, God, in the void, the womb, and it's expanded then with the masculine, the energy. And look, you can see everything's connected. As above, so below, through the middle worlds. We have the keys, and this is connected to the sun and the moon, being in alignment with one another. So this is where we go within and face our fears. And that right now is connected to, look at that, the Two of Cups, and healing the mind's eye in order to manifest with force. And right now that's connected to healing with the Five of Wands, healing with wrath, healing with our central sun. And that's what's restoring balance right now. Let's see how. Let's get an activation. All right, we're using the Quantum Oracle. The Sacred Temple. Look at that. So we're going within. This has to do, we're expanding with spirit within, and it's connected to a number 5. So we're shifting from a lack of, and we're healing stuck energy. That's what we're doing right now. We're clearing stuck energy. This has to do with the purification of the cup in order to transform, and we're transforming with our higher self and spirit to expand with optimism. And look at that. We shift our consciousness with a positive charge, Christ consciousness here, and we end victim mentality. We're no longer a victim. Here it is. And it all has happened from what happened within here, within the sacred temple. What happened? We let go of our fears. We let go of our fears. What happened within the sacred temple? Within us. We went within. This is going within. This is connected to solitude, the hermit, meditation, and how we treat our body. The 6th house, Virgo, and alchemy. It has to do with education. We're educating ourselves on how to heal from deceit. Now something speeds up and we heal from our insecurities. That's what happens here with the new beginning. And what is this new beginning connected to? Remember, this has to do with cycles. Trick or treat, mischief, and play. This has to do with taking a risks. We're taking risks and change, and we took risks in love. And we're having the courage to commit into people and into situations we never thought we would, because we're healing with our ego mindset, where we've thought before, because we were in patterns of judgment, that we judged if people were worthy or not of love, if they were worthy or not of our commitments, based on if they were perfect or not, if they fit into patterns of social conditioning, like the work that divine feminine and masculine are doing. One of the templates being, is the feminine a whore. We're healing from shame, if she has been divorced or she comes with children, is she a whore? Is she not good enough for the masculine? That's one of the patterns that's been created. Just an example, guys. If this is triggering you, there's a reason why, but just an example. There's many of them. And we should get into discussing this further up the channel and do some really deep healing. And then, understanding that no, the feminine is worthy of whatever experiences that she's had on this planet, of taking this descent into the underworld in order to do the work and expand from the cup of lust with love, and to heal from shame and guilt and lower vibrational, things that are creating taboo behaviors, because we're repressing sexual energy, and this has to do with the repression of sexual energy and the taking of sexual energy, and through patterning. And that's what really happens when we go from what's out of alignment with the devil to what's in alignment with the lovers. And seeing that through patterning, we're taking ourselves back, and we're not separating ourselves from ourselves, and also to this planet and what's really happening on this planet. We're whole in order to deal with what's really happening on this planet and be able to shine the love there. This isn't more separation and hate. This is more understanding, compassion, and love. So, and forward movement. Because whatever's happened here is, look, we took this descent with an Earth Star activation. Remember, what goes down must come up in order to expand with the Father and force and a deeper level of creativity here on our past and what we came here to manifest. And wisdom, this has to do with wisdom more than anything. We descend into hell in order to have our experience, but looking the devil in the eye, and then going towards God and what's in alignment with us, with action, with force, but with wisdom of having the experience of experiencing it, of being there. We're no longer separate from it. We've been aware. This is the integration of our shadow self. This is becoming whole. This is loving all parts of ourself. All parts of ourself that we think are unlovable. Now we have the wisdom to love them and do so and move forward. So look, we ascend. We create happiness from sadness. But in order to do so, we had to face the sadness. We had to face the fear. We had to take a dip, a descent, in order to ascend. Ascend. Get back up, raise our vibes. And it has to do with whatever is happening here with the Wheel of Fortune, the Hangman, the Tower, and the Two of Cups. And we're going to get one last activation as to what this is. It's loyalty. And the Page of Cups is our connection to true love, to expanding with love in the cup. This is how this is happening. Grief. So there's our connection to the Six of Cups. 5 plus this cup is the Six of Cups. So this grief has to do with being loyal to self-love. Having the strength to expand with self-love and to forgive the self. That is the job right now. To be brave enough to forgive the self. Through the cup. All the lower vibrational things that you've done. To raise your vibes. And expand with nourishment and love. And celebrate. And there it is. We come together within the Three of Cups for our celebrations during this Scorpio season. Much love.